we have before us today Mr. Nuhu Ribadu, a police officer, former chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Nigeria, who was first kicked out of office on a flimsy excuse that he was going for training in a remote area of Nigeria near Jos. And after that, he was demoted by 2 ranks down. And after his demotion, on the day of graduation from this training he went for, the authorities in Nigeria kicked him out of the graduation place. And then he was finally, on the excuse of his refusal, according to President of Nigeria, to go to a posting that was given to him in the police, kicked out of the police finally. He's recently been in Oxford, and now he's here in the US, Washington DC, but today we have him in New York. So I'm just going to do a very quick one. Mr. Nuhu Ribadu, welcome to Sahara Reporters.
Thank you.
Yes. The question that perhaps nobody's going to ask you, but we'll ask you, is that you were a very effective, feisty, and very, very popular anti-crime fighter in Nigeria. But the question and the allegation and accusation that flows all the time towards is that, you know, when you were there, you did a good job on some people who were regarded as the enemy of former President Obasanjo, and you did a bad job on those who weren't his enemies.
Well, I don't think that's true. I disagree completely. The most difficult thing to do, probably, to fight corruption, especially in a country like Nigeria, where corruption not just endemic, but is responsible for literally everything that has really turned the country to what it is today. The entire system has been taken over by corruption, everything.
Only one video of Sowore Nuhu Ribadu out in public place that I released yesterday. All of his followers have been on social media, comment sections everywhere. I even saw tweets where my post was attached, and they are all conversing, having diarrhea of the mouth and dysentery and all of that. So people cannot even take what you give. This is the same Sowore that aimlessly, unprovoked, come for the obedient, come for Peter Obi, all in a bid to discredit him, because for him, he thinks that Peter Obi is taking his shine. And I'm not even here to do any image laundering for Peter Obi. I really do not care. I don't know Peter Obi and I don't care. I'm all about the country. But I've asked myself, if this same Nuhu Ribadu that has been in Bola Ahmed Tinubu's camp at least for the last 15 years, because as at 2011, Nuhu Ribadu was Bola Ahmed Tinubu's presidential candidate against Goodluck Ebele Jonathan in the 2011 election. Nuhu Ribadu flown the flag of the Action Congress, as it were, at that time. Yes, Action Congress, as it were, at that time. So, yet, 15 years later, this same Nuhu Ribadu is now in Bola Ahmed Tinubu's government as NSA, and you think that a 2018 video of the relationship between Moyele and Nuhu Ribadu should not spark any form of controversy and questions? Nobody should ask. I only apologize because if we say we want to change the players, we must come with different attitude. I didn't specify that video was old. Some persons may have taken it as though it was recent. So it was okay for me to apologize. But it doesn't change the fact that what was Sowore doing with Nuhu Ribadu in 2018? And one baby, Gen Z, who thinks a lot of us are in a class of WhatsApp group of primary 5 students, said that it was when Nuhu Ribadu was a corruption fighter. And I laughed. This same Nuhu Ribadu, let's not forget that in 2006, it was reported that Nuhu Ribadu has listed about 5 governors on the floor of the Nigerian Senate who he thinks has corruption charges, there are money laundering issues, and people with questionable wealth. He mentioned Oju Zokalu of Abia State. There was also George Akume of Benue State. Yes, Musa Yerima of Zamfara State, and of course Bola Ahmed Tinubu of Lagos State. I think there was one other person that I can't just remember now. 5 of them. As I talk to you, Yerima is a serving senator. George Akume was elected senator, but is now Secretary General of the Federation. Oju Zokalu is a serving senator. Bola Ahmed Tinubu is president. And Nuhu Ribadu is serving that same government. Although Nuhu Ribadu has come out to denial of these claims. But thank God, if you think that I'm just a social media content creator, El-Rufai, as of February 5th, 2025, in his interview, accused Nuhu Ribadu of calling Bola Ahmed Tinubu corrupt and now working with the same person he once called corrupt. Nuhu Ribadu replied and said that it is a lie, it is false accusations, and that El-Rufai should apologize for what? El-Rufai replied Nuhu Ribadu and said he is suffering from delusional amnesia, that he dare him, that if he dares him enough, they should go to the proceedings of plenary for that particular day where Nuhu Ribadu was in the Senate, and those information are there. This video you just watched now was maybe a few years after he left office as EFCC chairman. That's what doing image laundry for him, whitewashing him. As what? I've asked everybody that cares to listen, what were the victories of Nuhu Ribadu as EFCC chairman? All of them were political. Clearly, Olusegun Obasanjo was using Nuhu Ribadu to fight his enemies and political enemies. All of the fights, James Ibori, Alamesi Ira, Lucky Gbenejo, they were because these guys from the south refused Obasanjo's interest to have altered the constitution and allow him go for a third term. Even Tafawa Balogun, for example, it was because he betrayed Obasanjo, and there were a couple of others. Like I've always said, I don't know Peter B. I am not somebody that says it is hook, line, and sinker. The interest I have is about this country, and I will stand it for it. But the fact that Sowore thinks that only him have monopoly to criticize people, and his followers will not listen. As I talk to you now, Sowore followers have left the issue about critiquing government, and they are focused on Peter Obi and the obedient. They are not causing us to say we don't have sense. We are using oil to clean him off, blah, blah, blah. What does Sowore have against Peter Obi? His name was mentioned in Pandora Papers years ago, and the fact that he thinks that his style of governance in Anambra State wasn't exceptionally distinguished, so there's really no reason to hype him. Which of these things you have mentioned come as earliest as what the video you watch of Sowore having a relationship with Nuhu Ribadu as of 2018? And like I said, Nuhu Ribadu has been in Tinubu's camp all of these years. He's been a serving member of the All Progressives Congress. Even if he was not in Buhari's government, he was a very veritable individual brand that contributed to putting us in this mess, so to speak, that led us to this problem. There were two sets of persons that actually supported, or that is he supported Buhari now, or because I don't know if people really supported Buhari or they just demarketed Goodluck Jonathan. Okay, let's leave it like that. They are the naives. There were people that are naives. They didn't know. They allowed media propaganda, lies, blackmail against Jonathan to make them feel like they should pursue Jonathan and have in Buhari. And of course, what the media propagandists did, of course, the group that Sowore and Sahara reporters belonged to prior to 2015 elections, were to sell Jonathan as a corrupt leader of a government, and that we needed to end corruption at all costs. That was how Muhammadu Buhari's personnel or personality of being a former military administrator and a no-nonsense person was sold, because the only thing Nigerians thought were the problem were corruption, and that's how Buhari came. And people, so you see that there were people that were naive, that probably did not see the bigger picture, and the people that were in the engine room like a war office engineering all of this propaganda. Until tomorrow, Sowore is here to identify, or here to explain, or here to even apologize of his involvement in bringing down Goodluck Jonathan's government. Again, like I said on this platform, if you have been following me, Jonathan wasn't the best of presidents, but there is none of either Buhari or Tinubu that stands close to what Jonathan did as president of this country. None of them can stand as par, can even stand anywhere close to who Jonathan was, what he represented, the interest he had to this country, the selflessness and sacrifice and commitment he had to the growth of this country. He may not have gotten a few things right, but with what we have seen recently from these APC guys, it was a misnomer. It was the greatest mistake this country has made, to have allowed this government to slide to the hands of the APC. And then I'm asking you questions. Why would you have that relationship as at 2018 with somebody like that, who as far back as 2011 was Bola Ahmed Tinubu's candidate for the 2011 elections against this same Jonathan we are talking about? So why are you doing image laundry for him? Remember that as we talk to you now, there are conversations in the public place, both in beer parlor, in public political spaces, that Nuhu Ribadu is being prepared to replace Jonathan as president, replace Tinubu as president in 2031. So it means that all of this has been game plan from the beginning. So Sowore, who are you? Are you a decoy? Because the fact that you have left Tinubu your followers particularly, I think I can accept that you have also been very vocal about the issues about this country. But your followers do not bother about Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Their border is about Peter Obi. Is that a game plan? Is that an assignment? Is that a WhatsApp group involvement? Is there an admin controlling all of these narratives? Why? Why are your people not focusing on the problem? Why are they focusing on somebody that is not a government? Because to you, and what you guys have sold, is that Peter Obi is the one stopping Sowore from having all of the followership. In 2019, was Peter Obi in the game plan? Was Peter Obi mentioned? I told you guys, I personally wanted to support Sowore, but when I saw all of the things that happened in the coalition of young people that we thought would happen, so that we'll have a youth candidate, and how Sowore said that all of these people, they even mentioned that some of these guys are part of the system, they are being used. Now, people are telling you that it's also obvious that you're part of the system. They don't want to. Nobody wants to listen. They should shut everybody up, and only you have the voice to talk. No, it cannot continue to happen. On this space, we'll own it together. We own this country together. I am not campaigning for Peter Obi. I don't even care if he becomes president or not. But we must begin to tell ourselves the truth. Sowore, there are links between you and Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the APC, Nuhu Ribadu, and this government. You are here to tell us conveniently whether or not that those links do not exist. People say that you are a decoy to ensuring that there is division in the youthful acceptance and projection of whoever the youth decides to vote for in 2027. And again, all of these are showing that people can take this to the bank and run with it. We cannot continue to keep quiet, unprovoked, without any issue. Sowore comes for Peter Obi and anybody he likes. Suddenly, one video is out. All of you are jumping and like headless chicken everywhere. No, it will continue. We'll continue to have this discussion here. Nobody has monopoly of intimidation. You are not even the smartest, because I see all your very kindergarten conversations everywhere and comment, trying to make yourself feel as if you are serving a saint. If your sainthood of a master has a relationship with Nuhu Ribadu of over 15 years, I can never trust somebody like that. I can never trust somebody like that. Take that to the bank. We'll be back here again very soon.